guess I'm live. Hey, this is Fun University. We are going to talk about wood grain and making your very own. Yes, I am. We're going to talk about wood grain and making your own wood grain. It's all started with this card. Now tonight, we are going to make these two cards. Stick around. Let's get it started. Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University. I forgot something. Props to the prof. Off to a great start. Hi, I'm Mary Gunn, American Fun Founder and Head Professor of Fun University, and your intrepid hostess of Craft Roulette, which this is not, but this is the offshoot of Craft Roulette, which is the teaching component. Can you believe it? I would doubt it myself if I were just tuning in. But this is the teaching component of Craft Roulette, which is on Friday nights at 6:30 Central Time on its own little YouTube channel, youtube.com/Craft Roulette. It is the ultimate paper crafting game, card making game show challenge. If you think that sounds intriguing, please stick around. So that was that. And this is now. Thank you guys for showing up. I'm kind of running late myself. I was slurping soup as fast as I could. I see how you guys are having some heat. We're having cold rain all day, and I have depressed dogs, and I have a cantankerous cat. But other than that, life is good. That, to me, because it's craft day, right? Because it was rainy. So I like it. I do. Tonight, we are going to talk about Craft Roulette episode 13, of which we already have 130 contributions. And there's more coming in because patrons don't have to have theirs in until Thursday night at midnight. And I know there's some missing. So, not that I'm checking off boxes, but I do know that there are some missing. Craft Roulette 13 was with Carrie Rhodes. She was a delight. I've gotten really good feedback on her, on what you guys, that you enjoy her company. She's just sweet. Isn't she just sweet? The parameters that we had were artist choice. Okay, so artist choice. I thought, we're going to get 99... Okay, so we'll use the 130 number. We're going to get 129 A2 size cards, but we didn't. We got a lot of A2 size cards, but we got some slim lines. Grandma Gay did a little chubby, which is my little invention of a 4x8, and I love them. And I don't do enough of them. Grandma Gay, thank you for doing that. We had some 3D objects that we don't usually have because it just said artist choice. And so oftentimes it says like an A2. Well, that definitely indicates a card. But we had some 3D options like a basket by Janet Sitaway. It was adorable. Pam Veal did a card that was 3D. And we even had a strawberry gift little thing made by Melanie Foy. I thought they were just, way to go, you guys, really thinking, where's the box? Yeah, that's how we think here on Fun University. We keep going, what are you talking about a box? I don't get it. Well done. And a whole rafter of, a whole lot of cards. Beautiful, beautiful cards. You can see them on craftroulette.live. Episode 113 in the gallery. Any two colors, if you want to learn about colors and what looks good together and just make some notes on what you saw and you liked, this is a great time. If you want to look through it and you go, oh, well, this is a blue green with a red. It looks great. I could use that with this stamp. Make some notes. I encourage you to have a Fun University notebook in which you have parameters and you can learn and get some references. Not that you don't know it, but sometimes it's just nice to have some references. So that's a thing you can do. Flowers. We had big flowers. We had little flowers. We had some flowers just barely sneaking in there. And some of them were focal points themselves. Some of them were incidentals in the background or stamped or just kind of, one was on a sign and it was a little silver or a little metal flower. I looked and I thought, oh, that Deputy Heidi's going to get him on this one. But nope. It turned out there was actually a flower on there. But wood is the one we're going to talk about tonight. I made this card. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. And somehow or other, it was somewhat intriguing because I used a toothbrush to make a wood grain, and it's been around for a long time. But we don't all know the same things, so that's why we do this every week. I like to look at videos too, so it's all fine. But wood, okay, just a sec. There we go. We had real wood. We had embossing folders. We had branches. We had trees. We had a stump, I think. We had them in the backgrounds. We had a really cute new contributor named Makira who put a little old-fashioned wood grain television. If you have not seen that, it is worth a look. It is quite something, and what an entrance piece. Oh my goodness. We had whitewashed wood. We had a birdhouse made out of faux wood. We had fences and accents. By the way, fences, that was a parameter also, and I took it off today because I thought, we had a lot of fences. Just a second. And I didn't want to get fences for 114 and then have that come up again. So we had them at wood as accents, planks, torn wood. We had a cute little wheelbarrow with a pig in it. We had Boat and Dock by Arlene Finnegan's husband, his first time. We had frames. We had, we even had robot. Congratulations, Gen Z, for getting that robot in with flowers and wood. I thought that was exceptional. And then to top it all off, and we'll finish with this wood reference, we had Lynn Sanders with her Woodstock. The bird. The Woodstock the bird, and that's the one that has the little tiny little flower on it. It's hilariously cute. Sorry you're buffering. I think we're a long way away, Karen. I hope your arm's doing okay. We already have 2 process videos, one by Sire Anderson and one by Mary Moisen. You guys are having fun with that, and I really appreciate you doing that too. Anyway, kudos. You guys did a great job. Let's go down and start looking at some fake wood, and make something. Okay, let's do it. All right. I think we'll come in a little bit. All right, these are the cards we're going to make tonight. And then this was the guy that started it all. Danica Matters asked if we could do this tonight, and there I see her. There she is, and you brought a toothbrush to your craft room. Well, okay, toothbrushes are they're obviously not going to be used again, probably. Even though dye ink isn't supposed to be at all bad for you, but couple things on this. So this was just, you can see how very subtle it is. It's just like a little bit of texture. It's almost it's less than sponging. I don't even know how to describe it quite, but what you might want to think about with this guy. Well, we could do it with this. No, I got another easier way to do it, but I did want to go over that. It does depend on your base. If you bending over all over place, I'm gonna need some scratch paper here. Okay, so it's gonna depend on your base on what it looks like, and we're gonna show you a little bit about that tonight. But couple tips right off the bat. You want to start with a lighter color than what you're going to end up with. And you're going to want to do pretty straight strokes. Whoops, like that. Actually, that starts to look like some kind of gnarly stuff in the wood. And so you want to just go back and forth, making parallel lines. And I would think that it's a good idea to come back then. And you're going to be getting wood grain here. So you don't want to be doing up and down all over and around. I don't want to make a jump onto that one with some ink. So you're going to also, another thing is I think a smaller little canvas works better, not like it's material canvas, but a smaller canvas works better because when you start to do larger areas, your arm will arc. And so you could get a rounder look if you want, and that works too. But if you just want straight lines, then you're going to want to have a smaller little area. But a toothbrush definitely has its own little texture to it. It's kind of like Crinkle Inkle has its own little texture. Sponges have their own texture. Blending brushes have their own texture. You can also come in with a blending brush then and add a little bit of edging so that it feels like it has a little end to it all. And then we're going to take just this little edge. You can do it with this. Again, if you were doing a big one, you would arc with your arm because that's how your shoulder is built. And you can end up with a pretty, that didn't take very long, did it? A really pretty little wood design. You can also, we're going to be doing this also tonight, but you can also take a sharp edge of a block and get some ink on it and just rub it a little bit. And you'll get a softer look than if you did the edge of the pad. But you'll get some lines in there too. And if you do fudge a little bit and go back and forth like this instead of just back and forth, you get some pretty good looks too. You can also do just partial. But I think it does look good if it's a little bit horizontal, unless you want to start making planks. And then these are pretty organic to make planks, but then you would just do little areas. You can also cut them to become planks. But there's a lot, since this is a creative endeavor, you have the option of not being realistic. Yay! We like that. So you can, it looks good, doesn't it? It looks kind of pretty, weathered wood. You can also come in, okay, so this is a nice gray, but if you wanted to bring in then another gray that is a little softer or something along those lines, you can do that too. And you can just play and play, because this was just a scrap of paper. Oh, look at that mess. And it's not, and I'm out maybe 5 minutes. I don't know. That's not a whole lot. So then you can have something to mess with. And then when I was going to see if I could find a trimmer, which I cannot. So then you cut this little guy off, and then you can just do a little edging and inking. Like so. You have a really nice little wood background. And this would be great for an A2 size card. We're going to do one similar size to that. But it would be a grid for an A2 size card. I've also done things like cut it into planks and made signs like Burma, like Eat at Joe's. Things like that. Not Eat at Joe's. That's my favorite one right now, but I don't have any stamps with it. Eat at Joe's is what I want. Stamp companies. I want to Eat at Joe's. Then you can also come in with a really fine nib. Then, okay, imagine then putting this through an embossing folder that's for wood. So you can also do some little woody things here with a very, very fine nib and barely making contact. If you want to try some knots, you could. Trees have knots, but mine don't look very good. I'd have to practice, I think, which apparently I have not done today, even though I've been in here all day. That'd be a great place for a little embellishment. Anyway, you can end up with really great scraps like this. This was some that I made just on a piece of tan paper. And I used it for something, and I don't know what, but it turned out that I just end up with a great little piece of scrap paper, and it can go on all sorts of little card sides, just a little bottom border or something down the side, or a pull tab even. If you had a great big interactive deal, you could have something like that. So you can use these for all sorts of stuff, and they're very, very fun, and add just a little bit of that wood touch, and wood touch is cool. Wood touch has its own little merits. It adds some rusticness. It adds some coziness, I think. I like it very much. I think it just adds some subtle texture. It doesn't have to be a really loud, wild texture by any means at all. It just can add kind of a nice background to a card. This one is all one layer. It was all done with, maybe you could do the knots first. Yeah, sure. Why not? You could do them with, well, apparently I do not have any round brushes or round, the little round dealies, but you could do it. Okay. If I don't have a round dealie, you could put in some knots. Or perceived knots, even if it's not real knots. They're not knots, but you can add things, just fingerprint knots. Why not? It's the slow crafter. But then you can play with it, absolutely play with it. And now I want to play with it. But anyway, I'll have to work on my knotting. My knotting is not so good. It's a little knotty knot. Knot's a fun word, isn't it? So, yep, you can do stuff like that. You have fun with it. This is all one layer. This is just ink and some more ink. So, if you have that fancy masking tape or paper, this would be a great time to use it. I don't. So what I'm going to do is use some fat masking tape, and I'm going to get most of the sticky off. And I'm going to use the bigger side, this along the very edge of some scrap paper that's straight. Then we'll just start adding these as masks. Head of an eraser would work, yep. Oh yeah, Mary Youngblood, it is definitely a gender neutral kind of card. You definitely can use it for anything. But dudes, for sure, is a good idea. Here's something I want to make sure that I'm going to have these pretty parallel. Now this one, because of this masking tape, it will get some of the ink on it, but it turns out to be kind of a good thing. I'm just putting it on my shirt. It turns out to be kind of a good thing because at the end, then you can just bring in a brush and fill in some of you can use it as wood filler. So that's kind of a good thing. If you want to try doing this and you want to make it easy and use bigger blocks of area. This one's not, I probably won't do quite as many. And another thing I like to do, I don't think it's necessarily the thing, but I like to start with a little lighter ink. And do turn that paper. My gosh. It's too much work not to. This is dye-based ink, so it's going to dry pretty. Whoops, wrong one. I didn't want that one. It's dye-based ink, so it's going to dry nice and fast. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in a brown brush and see how I'm pulling off that ink off the masking tape. Turns out to be a really good thing. Then we can pull that up, reverse it. The one that went on last comes off first. And we've got our first plank. Isn't that cool? Could you mask it with Post-it notes? Absolutely. The only thing that's a little bit better with this is because I'm going to use it a lot. And so this won't bleed through. This won't get soaked and it won't bleed through. So that would be a plus on the doing it this way side. Pad back. Let's see. There's this. I can see it down here, so I'll bring it. There we go. I think that'll work. I've ended up putting these black lines in because it was easy. That way, then I didn't have to worry about. I didn't have to. What didn't I have to worry about? I don't know what I didn't have to worry about, but I didn't worry, and that was nice. Oh, when there were spaces, if there were spaces. Now these are all grays too, or browns, and so if there is a little bit of ink left, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt the project too much. If you had something that was kind of fussy, you probably would want to clean it off. But I think fussy's on another channel. Good old fussy. There we go. I say, why clean up when you can craft up? It's my new saying. I absolutely think so. There we go. So there we've got another one. Now we're going to do a little patina there, a little old something with some green in it. So it's not the fastest card in the world, but it's not going to be the hardest card in the world. This one's already losing its stick. So we're not going to worry about it too much because we're not going to go this way and this way. We're going to go this way, and that'll be fine. No problems here. Just hang on to it. Hang on, sister. Whoops, there it goes. I didn't hang on. I don't think there's a mess up. I suppose you could if you just all of a sudden dropped a thing of red or something, but even that, you could pretend it was some old paint. We'll just fill it in. Use it as a palette. See, there's a little bit of white right there, and that's okay. I'm going to wipe my fingers off, though, because I'm getting pretty colorful. You know, here's what we can do with this, since it's losing its stick. Oh, we can just get a new piece. This is an ancient notebook. This purple paper is an ancient notebook that I found. And it has old close to my heart notes from calling scrapbook clubs and different things. Oh. Also, you want to make sure that, see, now that I've got that, I don't want to get that on the ink. Okie doke. Now we're just going to bring in a little green. And not the whole lot, not a heavy swink, as they say, but just little light touchdowns. So it will look like some paint has peeled off. In my mind, that's what it's supposed to look like. Tape isn't sticking because it's damp, right? I think so too, Lou Ann Johnson, but I'm trying to keep moving. So it does dry a little bit and then it does work better, I think. So we're going to go ahead and do the same up here. At least ink dies. It, whenever it does, pretty fast. Dries. Doesn't die, it dries. I think it's, I don't, it would definitely be whatever you want, but if you are using brown inks, probably brown inks go together a little better than a brown and a gray, but, you know, it may not. I need a little more filler here. The swinking gives it a nice texture, but sometimes you just need a little substance. We'll get a little green. And it will look like it's got some... Oh, look at that big stripe. We'll have to put in a big stripe of black. Okay, so let's see. We've got 2 more. Let's do a gray one. You know, to keep things moving, you've already seen the process. And so to keep things moving, I think, look how messy I can be on this. It's fun. I'll probably just do 2 more instead of 3 more. This is going to be gray all the way. And we'll do this nice warm gray. I love this gray. Whoopsie. Come back, darling. Let's just come off of you then. We're going to come back and give them some boards. And it really looks crummy on its own, but then when it all starts to come together, it just is pretty good. Pretty good. Then we just have this last one. We will go longwise on it, so I'm going to turn it so my hand doesn't break. Juicy stamp pad sounds like a good idea to me. What do you think? I guess you'd get a whole nother texture if you had crummy, or not crummy, but your stamp pads were kind of dry. Want to come in from both sides too, because then you don't have just one side that's getting the heavy doing the heavy lifting on the ink. Oh, here it. Oh no, that's right. There's the angry kitty. He's just been angry kind of today. He's yelling at me now. Okay, so this is the base. This is the start. I think instead of doing the lines first, you know, earlier today I thought, okay, the way that you have, where you have, there it is, where you have the stamp positioner is you're never going to find it. And it was close. Good thing I had that conversation with myself earlier. There we go. So I thought this would be pretty on it. Let's get a good black. And then we'll come in with, I've got just a basic stamp positioner. You all have probably seen it. There we go. This could be one of those things that you could have masked where you're going to put the flower in the first place. And then you would have a white place, which is popular right now. It's trending, and if you want to be trending. Yes, scoring between the boards is a great idea, Linda. I think you did that on your card, didn't you? I think you scored. Oh no, we've got double vision. Shoot, fire. It did. It slipped. Dang, poo. Ah, moment of silence. This is when it scored on with cardstock that has white core, and I scored it from the back, sanded it from the top, and then did some whitewashing. Yeah. Yes, you did. Okay, because when I was looking at yours again, I thought I think I'm going to do that just so I have it there. We have solutions. Not really good ones, but we do have solutions. Let me pull something together here. Closet. Yikes. So I was doing some mixed media today, and so I had this out, and I'm kind of glad that I had some newsprint. It's just newsprint or packing material or something. So we'll have a different look completely, and that's good. We like different looks. That's kind of what I'm thinking, Slow Crafter. We're just going to cut it out of something that's... We've already made that one, right? We don't need to make another one like it. You are absolutely right. Don't move. Good enough. I'm not going to borrow trouble. I put the post-it note on there so I don't have to clean it until later. Once I find it again, because I just put it somewhere I never put it. Okay, come back here, you little double vision monster. So I'm going to not cut it carefully. But before I do not cut it carefully, I'm going to just do a little bit of sponging around it. And I think it might bleed, so I'll pounce around it. And we'll leave the flower open. And that should theoretically soften the edge from this off-white to this pretty background. Theories, all of it, theories. Okay, and we'll do it fast. Fast and furious. So fast and furious. But you probably have time to go get a drink. No, you may not. I don't know where your rooms are. I do want it a little bigger since I have double vision and I don't want anybody peekabooing out behind it. Because that's not the point. If you don't know much about fussy cutting, I did do a class on fussy cutting called in Fundamentals on Fun University. And it's okay. It's got some good points. At least I thought so. I can't remember what they are. That's right. It's just opportunity knocking. That's right. Yeah. Hello, opportunity. Come on in. We're going to get a new look because of you knocking at our door. I don't know. You know, we have like one of those doorbells. And we can see who's at the door and we can talk to him. I'm not sure if I'd answer if it was opportunity knocking. Hey, that looks pretty darn good, actually. Okay. I'm going to put some of this goopy goo on there. All right. And so the other day, I can't remember. Where was I? And I bought myself a little thing. This little silicone spatula. And I'm such a messy scrapper or stamper. Oops, ripped off something. This has saved me some stickiness. I still can get sticky even using this because I excel at such things. But I like it. This is really thin paper. Okay, I'm looking for anybody peekabooing. Oh, did we fix a mess or what? We did it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crafters and craftettes. We avoided that problem really well. There we go. I don't know. I think that's kind of pretty. Except, no. Let's not get too hasty, Mary, because you don't want to make a mistake now. You're too far in. I have a straight edge, right? Yes, I do. Okay, this one is... You could put the white line on purpose, and that would look good too. In between each and every one of these. I think this one's looking pretty stellar. I like it. Looks very weathered and rustic. But like I said, if you want it to do fast, you could just do a couple colors and make it quick. And you don't have to come in with additional lines and whatnot. Hey, Tammy Williams, welcome. Smurfs here. Oh, lots of folks are here. It's nice to see you and spend a Tuesday night. It's been raining here all day. It's just been great. And then you can add some more of the details if you want. But here it is without the details, and it's kind of pretty. You can also add, this one I used a shimmer pen for coloring the flower, and it looked okay. So you have to make sure what kind of ink you're using for your black. But I think that's kind of pretty. I think somebody would be, oh, what? You made that? It does bleed a little bit. So it probably would look better if, let's see what it looks like. Cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. Shazam! I don't seem to have a card base. So we'll see what it looks like on the piece I cut it off of. Okay, so here it is on the white. Very pretty. You could add a little bit of edging on the sides. Or here it is on a tan, very subtle, very soft. And again, you could do some edging on the ink edging on the side, and that would give it a little bit of frame. Yeah, something like that. Well, something better than that, but because that was really fast. So anyway, all right, I like it. I like it. I'm glad we made that mistake. Notice I include you on this mistake. Yes, you're welcome for being able to co-sponsor that silly mistake I made. This little guy, let's make him. I think he's just as cute as can be. I do. I think he's just darling. Using a brown craftish type base, I have a little piece of red. I have the butterfly itself. I've got a couple little leaves. I've got a hello there. And I have the little guy for this. And I have this. We're going to make the little banner from this. This is stamped. And that's going to go about there. And he's going to go right here. You already know. If I said, here, go ahead and make this into a wood grain, which I got a smudge on, you would know what to do. I think you would. So this is just slightly off-white. There we go. We're already off to the races. How fast was that? That's as fast as I would ever race. I could be a speed stamper. Speed card maker. I did make a video today on a card. Using, I gotta use up some of my scraps. I just have to. Either that or I need to face the facts. Oops. Face the facts and get rid of something. No! No! I say no. So, you're not giving me a very good... Go back and forth. I suppose you could make a mistake. It's be hard. It would just be hard. It's still a little wet. Isn't that pretty? That's just one ink. I don't think I used another one. Just one ink on some paper. And I'm going to do a little ink edging on this to give it a little frame. And continue that rustic vibe. There we go. I don't think we need any lines any more than that because we're going to have something pretty. That's right. It's a knot. It really isn't supposed to be a knot, but it is a knot, so it's a knot. Knot. This guy's going to go right here. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Then we can just cut this fellow. Pretty much between 1 1/4 and 1 1/2, which is 1 and a something. Then we're going to cut it off because I don't have a long enough piece to go all the way down. And we'll just cut off a corner. Cut them both off. Give them a little stamp. I liked this red with that. Oops, wrong side. Let's line this guy up so we can get it to match top and bottom. This one's actually shouldn't have been. I try to go with the pattern here so it doesn't. I'm not OCD. I'm not OCD. I'm not OCD. But when you're cutting one of these, make sure you do follow the diagonal line. It just makes those who are prone to notice things like that a little bit happier. Okay, so let's get, oh, there's a leaf that's not, let's get this over here so we know how tall to make this guy. Put a little adhesive on the top, slide him under. If he's going to be down to here and up to here, that would be about right, wouldn't it? That's just fine and dandy. Some fast tape in there. Eyeball, eyeball, eyeball. Where that gets too stuck on itself. My fingers tell a tale of great inking all day long. There we go. All righty, right. I am going to do something with this guy before we go any farther. I'm going to paint him. He is in ink that's supposed to be good for paint. Oh. Goodness gracious, I didn't think for a second I had any water. Well, I've got water that has white gesso in it. How lovely is that? So we'll just, got my Prang watercolors. 99 cents at the beginning of school year. It's a good thing. This way he can dry just a little bit. Just like when they're coming out of their chrysalis. They're all wet. Just like it. A science minute on on Fun University. But that's not how we're going to leave it. No, no, no. As she searches her mask for the butterfly stamp, he's going to go right here. And that way I don't have to worry about his head and antenna. Is there a question? I think I see part of a conversation of a question. The almond color, it was an old close to my heart color. I don't have any idea if it's still there. But it was, it's just a light tan. You could use any light tan. Just give this guy a little drying. Yep, they're all my old close to my heart stamps. Stamp pads. I like their big size. I like how they close. They close with a magnet. Their inks are fine. I've had them for a long time. I don't have a lot of experience. I'm kind of a novice when it comes to other people's inks, but I know there's some really good ones out there. There was one that I do have a Catherine Pooler ink, and holy smokes, does that thing ever have a lot of pop? It's got a lot of ink. It's a lot of pigment. Pretty exciting. I think that would be my next. If I were to get new inks, I think I would go with Ms. Pooler. But I don't. I'm not in great need of ink right now. So there we go. We're going to cut him out and stick him on there. Oh, this is just getting prettier by the second. Then we've got these beautiful little leaves. Put a little heart like Carrie did. That was the sweetest little story. If you didn't see that on Craft Roulette, oh, just got the sweetest little heart. Okay, a little more here. I was going to be short tonight. I can't quite get myself to do short. That's pretty. And then we've got a hello there. Hello there. Yep, I think those Gina K and a lot of our guest crafters have really like Catherine Pooler. And I respect their opinion on it, especially since it's pretty much straight across the board. That's not very straight cutting, but it's okie doke. Oh, I like that brighter pink, that brighter color. It's too late now. We'll break the fourth wall, as they would say on television. We're going to break that frame. Since we broke the frame over here and have the leaves sticking out, I'm going to do it over here also and have it sticking out over that frame. So there are our two cards. The original and the redo. I think they're pretty. I like them. I like them a lot. Thank you, Danica, for suggesting it. This was the original again on Friday nights. We meet on Craft Roulette. Yeah, yes, we do. That was a fun class for me to prepare. Thank you so much for asking for that. What makes you decide to use glue instead of adhesive? Well, okay, so instead of the ATG gun, this guy has he doesn't have any nice square corners. So it's easier for me to just squirt something on like that. And plus, I was lining him up on top of something, and so it's easier to squiggle it. So squish it around. And so that's why I went with liquid glue. But on this, I did the adhesive because it's nice square. Dong, dong, dong. And if I use this guy on something like this, 9 out of 10, I will use it, but 9 out of 10 times, I'll have glue boogers sticking over. So, those darn bloogers. Bloogers, I'm telling you, they're bad things. So anyway, bloogers are bad, and nice clean stamps are good. So is there anything else I want to tell you about that? Oh, one other little quickie. I do have a whole bunch of other cards with fake wood grain for you guys on Fun Universe or on our Patreon page. But this is I did find out that the 5th wedding anniversary is wood. And I thought, well, this would be it might be kind of pretty. So this looks actually pretty like wood, doesn't it? I think it does. And same thing, but can you guess what I used for the base? Look closely into my lines. An index card, very fancy. And then I did do the inking, did a little bit of Copic around the edge, and then put some clear embossing powder and some gold embossing powder on it too. So it turned out to be kind of hoity-toity, and popped it up on some craft foam. And this was just a part of a folder that was underneath my mask. So I just used masking tape, made it up. It's got my mama's printing or numbers on it. Very precious. Anyway, that's that. That is that. Let's see what else we need to do. Oh, we need to say thank you to our patrons. What is the white stamp? The white stamp. The white stamp. The white stamp. The white stamp. I don't see a white stamp. Oh, I know what you're talking about. This white stamp. It was it's an old flower stamp, and I boogered the stamping. It was supposed to look like this, but it didn't work. So I had to do it again, and I did it on some newsprint, and that's what it is. So, yep. Gloobers. Gloobers or bloogers. They're all bad when they're supposed to be on a card and it's supposed to be pretty. Thank you, fun friends, fun supporters, and Club Fun members. You are making a huge difference in our life. We're still paying off. We still have plenty to pay down, but you are helping us so very much. Really, really appreciate it. Look at all you guys. We have 2 brand new fun friends, and we appreciate it. And welcome, Max and Amanda. We are on the quest for 100 patrons. We are now at 77. If we get 100 patrons, which I believe we do, we can do that for $5 patrons. Are you kidding? It's great. But for 100 patrons, if we're going to have a party, when we hit 100 patrons. Now, the deal is, if we hit it before June 1st, we are going to have a party with Mr. Producer. He will be showing up. So this is like an unheard of thing. He wants that 100 patrons real bad. So please consider joining us for the end of this month and the beginning of June. And, and if you can't do it, I understand. Times are weird and times are hard. Make sure you hit that, if you like this, hit that thumbs up, share, subscribe, and all those kind of things. And join us on Fridays as well. I want all of your week, but no. Anyway, we do have that coming up. Do want to thank you so much. It's always just nice to hear from people and talk to you guys on the blog. And we do have a message system there. And tomorrow morning, you will have a new retro bonus challenge. I have not made mine. Patty Beck's probably going to beat me again, But I'm okay with that. She's the leader. She's the leader. Will Mr. Producer bake a pizza for the party? You know, Leslie Herman, he makes the best pizza. It is like an amazing pizza. So I would share it, but I eat it all. So no, he might, but no, we won't have enough to share. It will be BYOB. Bring your own pizza. BYOP. Bring your own pizza. Is there anything else? Let me think. Tick, 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 tick. Thank you, Linda Gorman. I appreciate that sharing on Facebook. That's great. Tick, 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 tick. Friday night, we have Daniel West. Holy smokes, what are we going to do with him? Last time he was on, I had been sick all that week, and I was just concentrating so hard not to fall over and to not slur my words, and it was just a concentration night. So I'm going to watch a little bit of it. It might be too hard, but I'm going to watch a little bit of it because I know he was just delightful and gave me a run for my money. But this time I'm feeling good. So we'll see what happens. It'll be good. Thank you guys so much to you all. Make some wood. Go and post it on our Craft Roulette Show Facebook group and use those albums. I think they show up. I don't know. I need to go in that album and see if they're in there. Have a lot in store for the patrons on June. What do we have? We have one more lesson on Light Source, and it's a really good one. We're finally getting to images. I know you guys have been, how much remedial work do we have to do? But it's important to get the remedial work in. So we started with very rudimentary lessons, and now we're going to get to images. Yay! So that will be Monday. And then next month, we're going to be concentrating on mixed media, and you better believe it, we're going remedial. But I think that's a good way to start. You'll be making stuff all over the place in no time at all. Thank you guys. Yes, Friday's going to be fun. I hope Daniel doesn't get sick. Oh my gosh. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you and check out those cards on craftroulette.live. Bye.